Over the course of the next 30 minutes, KRVN broadcasters will share the latest in weather, markets, and agriculture news. Join us this morning for topics and guests, including Clay Patton on weather and markets, Jayson Jorgensen with sports, Mark Gold with Top Third Ag on the grain markets, Jerry Stoll with country futures on the livestock markets, and Alex Makovica with agriculture news. Let's head inside the KRVN studios, joining Clay Patton with the latest in weather.
880 KRVN.
Well, good morning and welcome to 880 KRVN. Clay Patton with you in the morning roundup. It's the most important 30 minutes of your day. We're going to keep you updated with weather, news, and market and ag information. And thank you very much to our very own Carla Nichols as she's sitting back producer side, making sure all this looks as professional as it does. Welcome inside KRVN AM Master Control, 50,000 watts. And I'm sure you've heard us talk about it on air and stuff, but as you can see, our soundboard, multiple computer screens, I consider it's like flying a 747. Well, as we kick off every hour, we kick it off with national headlines. Then it is time for a check of the weather just before we head in and check on the latest happening in news. Now, it does look like it's going to be some mild weather over the weekend. If you have any big weekend plans or having fun in Nebraska, let us know in the comments here on the morning roundup. Well, as we look across the region here today, right now upper 20s to low level 30s for much of the area. Right now the Tri-Cities 32 currently in 32 in Kearney. It is 30 in Hastings, and currently it's 28 in Grand Island there as well. We've had several listers from the Overton and Elm Creek areas. Right now sitting about 32 in Overton this morning. Have several listers listing in Hayes, where it's 28 here today, 32 in Oakley, Kansas as well. Let's head on back for that central Nebraska forecast, where today mostly sunny. Highs the upper 40s to low 50s. Northwest winds 10 to 15. For tonight, partly cloudy this evening. Then becoming mostly cloudy. Lows in the mid to upper 20s. North winds at 10, with west central Nebraska carrying a thin 20% chance of a light sprinkle overnight. And for west central Nebraska, we're going to consider that points of North Platte and areas back to the west there as well. So going to be a slim chance that we'll see some of that here later on this evening. Now, going into Saturday, highs the upper 40s to low 50s, some light northwest winds. Saturday night, mostly cloudy with lows in the mid 30s, southeast winds 10 to 15, still gusting 35 to 40. Now, if you are looking at the national radar today, and who knows, maybe you're even listening online, there's a major squall line stretching from the northern parts of Tennessee all the way through Mississippi that has had some nasty thunderstorms built in with it. That's part of that low that moved across the southern plains yesterday. Ward Laboratories brings you factors influencing the commodity trade in 60 seconds.
Ray Ward always says you don't put more fuel in the tank if the gauge says it's full. The same applies for fertilizing your fields. Why apply fertilizer in areas of high fertility and starve areas in need? Soil testing ensures you put your fertilizer dollars where it counts to reduce environmental impact and maximize production. Ask your retailer or crop consultant to submit your soil samples to Nebraska Farmers' favorite lab, Ward Laboratories in Kearney. Visit wardlab.com to learn more.
Hi, I'm Dave Kayas, host of Barbecue Radio Nation, along with my co-host, barbecue expert Dan Hathaway.
Every week, we will be giving you the best tips on how you can grill and smoke your favorite meats, vegetables, and even desserts.
Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned expert, our show is designed to help you become a better backyard barbecuer.
Be sure and tune in on Saturdays at 1 p.m. and 11 p.m.
right here on Ag Talk, News, Weather, and Sports on KRVN, 880 AM Lexington, 106.9 FM Kearney, and 98.5 FM Grand Island, Nebraska.
Clay Patton on the Rural Radio Network. Let's head on over and check in with the factors that are influencing the commodity trade today. To do so, we're going to talk with Mark Gold of Top Third Ag Marketing in Chicago. Good morning, Mark.
Well, good morning. Overnight, we had May corn up 3 1/4 cents at 6.37. May wheat up a penny and 3/4 at 7.14 1/2, and May beans up 6 1/4 cents at 15.15 1/2. Beans have been on basically a 3-day rally out here off the lows that we made early on Wednesday morning. I think we can continue to see some strength as we head into the WASDE. Everybody is looking for a big cut on the Argentinian numbers. Some people are saying, 36, 35. Other people think the crop is 32 to 33. There's a few out there that think it's under 30. So it'll be interesting to see what the USDA has to say. It looks like they are going to get more rains in Argentina. than we looked at yesterday. So that could be a little bit of a help long range. We did not see any export announcements this morning. Did China really buy that grain that apparently they had bought last week, or Tuesday? We see no evidence of that whatsoever. Obviously, we've got the WASD on Wednesday. That's going to be the big driver for this market for the next 3-4 days. But I'm a little leery of the beans moving too much higher than they are right now.
And that again is Mark Gold with Top Third Ag Marketing. You can always learn more at topthird.com. The website to visit again is topthird.com. Do remember, though, the trade futures and options involve risk of loss may not be suitable for all investors. Do consider these risks before investing. Do you want to hear Mark Gold or our other brokers on the Rural Radio Network? Check out the podcast tab at ruralradionetwork.com.
The dangers of secondhand smoke are well known. But what about secondhand aerosol, which is created when using e-cigarettes? Science already shows a secondhand aerosol can contain nicotine, heavy metals, and cancer-causing agents. Eliminating exposure to secondhand aerosol is an important step to keeping everyone safe. Breathe easier knowing the facts.
For help quitting, call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Benjamin Franklin said, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. I agree. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. I grew up in Nebraska, attended our local public schools, and became a teacher. It wasn't easy, but it's the best investment I've ever made. Teachers are encouraging every student to invest their time in learning. Please join us in that effort. Support public education.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Clay Patton back on the Rural Radio Network, and now it is time for a check of the livestock trade today. And to do so, we're going to talk with Jerry Stoll of Country Futures in Frankfort, Kansas. Good morning, Jerry.
Good morning, Clay. A little help on the outside. Currently, S&P's up 26, dollar index 37 lower, crude oil down 149, and Dow futures up 157. Thursday night's lean hog index was 78.65, up 7, and the pork cutout value was up 19 at 85.73. Hogs still struggling here with the premiums they've been carrying here to the index, so we'll just continue to call them mixed to lower when we open up here at 8:30. Cattle complex, it's been a very slow week to date here on the cash cattle trade, and of course today's Friday, so something will get going here one way or the other. Only reported trades amount to anything. We're in Iowa this week in the range of 163 to 5. We did see one set of cattle that normally trade on Tuesday trade at 165 in Nebraska yesterday. No trade in the South, and all of a sudden it's starting to feel like maybe 165. There was hope of 66, but 165 seems more realistic now. Packer bids are 163. Pork cutout or the beef cutout value was up 67 at 288.50, and the feeder index 183.04, up 42. We're going to call cattle mixed to easier, led by the feeders and this higher grain.
And that again is Jerry Stoll with Country Futures in Frankfort, Kansas. You can always learn more at countryfutures.com. Again, it's countryfutures.com, the website to visit. Do remember that trading futures and options involve risk of loss, may not be suitable for all investors. Do consider these risks before investing. As we don't quite have all of our analysts in here this morning, we have enough, though, to give you an idea on the cattle slaughter today. It was 125,000 on Thursday. Most analysts still feeling a pretty strong 125,000 for Friday, 483,000 on the hogs.
The American farmer is leading the way in keeping our air and water clean. Today's farmers use a mix of technology and common sense to preserve our natural resources while providing healthier and higher quality food. American farmers are doing their best to ensure clean air and water for now and the future. The following businesses salute the American farmers and ranchers who work hard to produce food and fiber for the world.
Ag Solutions of Lamar, Kearney Power Sports in Kearney, and L&D Crop Insurance of North Loop.
And it's 8:15, back at 880 KRVN, your morning check of the factors influencing the commodity trade, brought to you by Ward Laboratories. And get Award Laboratories for their continuing support here on KRVN. We are less than 10 minutes away from the latest in ag news and 15 minutes away from your opening commodity trade. So I have a lot of information to pack here at the morning roundup. And right now it is all about basketball, whether at the collegiate levels, the MIAA, the NCAA March Madness tournaments getting very close, or back over on the high school side, a lot of them heading into the state tournament, and deeper we go. Let's check in with Jayson Jorgensen, who has the latest and updates for us in sports.
Come by a Rippin' Good Bowl at Rippy Gelby's Bowl Sale on March 11th at Fairbury Livestock in Fairbury, Nebraska. This is Dustin Rippy, and we are selling 112 Gelby and Balancer Bulls and 35 commercial heifers. 43% of the pen are heifer bulls. We value maternal traits so highly we individually weigh each cow and record udder scores. To buy your first Rippin' Good Bowl, go to our website and look at the videos at rippygelby.com, as in RIPPE. Don't have a pen, just call the station. That is rippygelby.com.
Boyer's Limousine and Limflex 32nd annual sale is March 12th at 1 p.m., 3 miles east of Barneston. We concentrate on easy fleshing, docility, and calving ease. The offering includes 40 yearling and coming 2-year-old bulls packed with muscle. Also, 20 bred and open replacement females. View the videos and catalog at jboyer.com. For a catalog, call me at 402-696-4410. See you at the sale March 12th.
And let's check back over with Jayson for the latest in sports.
Well, the girls' state basketball tournament continued yesterday. In Class B, it was Elkhorn North and York advancing. Scott and Sydney were the other winners in Class B. In Class C2, Southern Valley's great season came to an end as the Eagles were knocked out by Guardian Angels Central Catholic, 67-46. Still a great year for Southern Valley as they finish up at 21-4. Other winners in Class C2 included Crofton, Oakland Craig, and Pender. And in Class D2 action, top-seeded Falls City Sacred Heart moved on along with Humphrey St. Francis. Shelton, who is seeded second, they are now 23-1 on the year after they beat Wilcox Hildreth 52-22, and Wynot was able to upset St. Mary's. Now, state semifinals are set for all 6 classes today and tonight across Lincoln. Well, 7 players scored between 5 and 16 points as 7th-ranked UNK held Northwest Missouri to 23% shooting in an impressive 65-43 win last night in the quarterfinals of the MIAA tournament in Kansas City. Lopers were led by redshirt sophomore Meg Burns, who continues to shoot the ball well. She was 4 of 4 from behind the three-point arc and finished up with a team-high 16 points. For the Lopers, they've now won 15 straight to improve to 28-3 on the year. That ties the school record for wins with the 1996-97 Lopers. UNK will play again on Saturday at 6 in the semifinals. We will bring you that game on 93.1 The River and 106.9 in Kearney. Unfortunately, the news wasn't as good for the Husker women. Jazz Shelley led 3 Huskers in double figures with a game-high 24 points, but it wasn't enough, as 9th-seeded Michigan State eliminated the Huskers 67-64 in the second round of the Big Ten tournament. Nebraska slips to 16-14 overall, while the Spartans improved to 16-13. The Huskers will have to wait and see if they get an NIT bid. Husker baseball team, they are in action this weekend. They are set to take on a talented field at the Cambria College Classic, which is going on at U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis this weekend. The Huskers open up play with 7th-ranked Vanderbilt this morning at 11. We will bring you that game on Kimmy Country. The Big Red continues play tomorrow afternoon against Hawaii at 3. We'll bring you that game on 880 KRVN. Then the Huskers wrap up the weekend slate against 4th-ranked Ole Miss. That's a 1:30 game on Sunday that we will bring you on Kimmy Country. That is a look at sports. For more, you can find that anytime at krvn.com. I'm Jayson Jorgensen.
It takes balance to be successful in farming, because what you get out of it depends on what you put in. Thankfully, Corteva Agriscience has a biological product that naturally captures nitrogen from the air. Nutritia N Nutrient Efficiency Optimizer is a sustainable way to add balance to your traditional nitrogen methods and maximize your yield potential. Embrace a balanced approach to nitrogen management this season by visiting corteva.us.
Why not start the new year with some extra cash with a little help from Michael Wagner Implement? The demand is high for equipment, especially true for good, clean farm equipment. Let them use their history and expertise, plus the power of auction time to get more eyes on your equipment. Low rates, the best-selling prices, and the power of auction time means more money in your pocket for the new year. Give them a call at 402-923-1160. That's 402-923-1160.
Attention cattlemen, Marshall Land Brokers and Auctioneers have listed for sale 602 acres of well-located grassland. Includes an electric submersible well with underground pipeline to tanks, located next to a paved road near Eddyville in Dawson County. For details on this exceptionally well-located 602 acres of grassland, contact Luke Huddleston or Miles Marshall. See marshallauction.com. That's Marshall Land Brokers and Auctioneers of Kearney. And remember, the best investment on earth is earth.
Top Gun Cattle would like to invite you to their annual bull and heifer sale on Tuesday, March 28th. Selling Angus and Sim Angus cattle out of top sires like SAV Ajax, Rainfall, Southern Charm, Baldridge Bullet, Gold, Franchise, Keneally Dry Valley, and more. Make plans to attend the sale on Tuesday, March 28th at the ranch in Smithfield. Call for a catalog today at 308-325-5627 or visit the website at topguncattle.com. They make cattle with the commercial cattleman in mind.
Well, it's 8:22 now at 880 KRVN. We're going to be checking in very soon with the Rural Radio Network for the latest in ag news. And then, of course, at your opening commodity trade, straight to Chicago we go. Right at the 8:30 mark as the opening bell dings in Chicago. You'll know what's happening right here with us on KRVN. Thank you wherever you are listening from here this morning. It's great to have you along. Again, we've already talked about quickly warming temperatures, more 30s and mid-30s emerging out on our temperature map here today. As we look out to the extended forecast, we're just sitting right now ahead of a cold front with that highs today back in the low to mid-50s. But this cold front's going to be starting to sweep in across the panhandle, really reaching up to about west central Nebraska, getting up to that North Platte region. With that, they may stay in the 40s for a good portion of the day, and that's where in the overnight hours it could see a slim chance, again, like 20% of a stray sprinkle or a snowflake. But again, accumulation of that moisture not expected to be all that much. So while they may see some moisture, it's not going to be of an extreme amount of moisture. Now, this weekend, we should be sunny Saturday and Sunday, so get out there and enjoy the day. Get things done around the place if you need to. Highs warming in the 40s to low 50s tomorrow. Sunday, the best chance of the next week or so with highs in the 50s to low 60s. Sunday should be gorgeous. A cold front Monday, though, brings sustained cooling trend with highs dropping into the 30s to low 40s out through a good portion of next week. Now, model forecast still varying a little bit as to when and where we'll see that moisture. But we could see moisture out next week. So we'll see how the models come over the weekend, if they start to come into more agreement, and if that helps to bring some more things together. Right now here at KRVN, it is 34 degrees. We join the Rural Radio Network in 60 seconds.
At Security First Bank, our 125-year history is actually what moves us forward, with innovations like Video Teller, allowing you to use live video technology to connect with a representative to make deposits, withdrawals, transfers, and loan payments all in real time. Do most of what you would normally do inside the bank, after hours, and on Saturdays, too. That's innovation with a personal touch. Security First Bank. We're the bank. Member FDIC.
You're looking at the tires on your tractor, and wisdom guided by experience tells you those tires are going to last about as long as you would on Dances with the Stars. All you have to do is two-step into Nebraska land, Kansas land, or Colorado land tire to make sure you're ready for the coming farming season. Not just tractor tires, it's any tire on the farm, from your side-by-side to your largest equipment tires. Nebraska land, Kansas land, and Colorado land tire can fix you up. They can service your needs in their shop or yours, so go online at thetirestore.com to find the shop nearest you and get ready to farm.
With this update of agriculture news here on the Rural Radio Network, I'm Bryce Doeschot. Last week, Nebraska Extension hosted the annual Women in Ag Conference in Kearney, Nebraska. That two-day event featured a strong lineup of guest speakers and engaging workshops for those in attendance. Participants at this year's gathering attended several workshops that range from financial decisions to cattle nutrition and many things in between. One of the keynote speakers was Paul Stoddard with the University of Illinois, and he shared this message with those in attendance.
Things. First of all, this is an enormously volatile industry. And I think the non-farm public doesn't always understand how much volatility there is. And by that, I mean the income stream varies dramatically from year to year. We're at a bit of an inflection point. We're coming off a couple of years that are really, really good. It looks like by most projections, like 2023 will still be a profitable year, but much less so than 2021 and 2022.
Another topic of interest for attendees was a workshop devoted to advocating for early childhood education in rural communities. Nebraska's We Care for Kids campaign is an effort to build support for quality early childhood education for all Nebraska families. Kara Fickey is the We Care for Kids campaign manager.
So We Care for Kids is a community-based statewide effort to build support for quality early childhood care and education here in Nebraska. There is a tremendous need across our state, so we are looking to help families connect to resources. We want to elevate early childhood teachers and provide resources so communities can spread the word and start those conversations.
If you're interested in learning more about the Women in Ag Conference, you can visit the website wia.unl.edu. An interesting story developing as British people have had to ration their salad staples like tomatoes and cucumbers for the past couple of weeks amid shortages of fresh vegetables. Officials blame the problem on recent bad weather in Spain and North Africa and say the shortages could persist for up to a month. But many people are quick to point out that other European countries don't seem to be suffering in the same way, leading some to question, is this a consequence of Brexit? Experts say that Britain's exit from the European Union is likely playing a part here, but they say a more complex set of factors, including climate change, the UK's over-reliance on imports during the winter, and soaring energy costs are also to blame. Finally, today, a look at some of the agriculture news headlines you can find on our website. It's ruralreadynetwork.com. A study shows that ethanol cuts gas prices by 77 cents per gallon. Also, the National Cattlemen's Beef Association are again calling for the immediate halt to Brazilian beef imports. From inside the Nebraska Soybean Board Studio, which is brought to you in part by Nebraska soybean farmers and their checkoff, you're listening to an agriculture news update here on the Rural Radio Network.
Hi, everyone. Adam Marshall with two upcoming online auctions. March 14th is our large online no-reserve equipment auction. This auction will feature equipment from the Dakey estate, including a 2011 John Deere 9670 combine, a 2004 John Deere 8220 mechanical front tractor, and a John Deere 4560 tractor, plus many other items. Call to consign. Then, April 4th is an online auction for farm and construction toys. Call to consign for this auction. We are accepting items now. Learn more about these selling opportunities at marshallbid.com.
Are you ready to top the feeder market with more pounds boosting your bottom line? Attend the DBL and Sonderup production sale Thursday, March 16th at the Bull Lodge west of Fullerton. They're offering 120 yearling and fall Angus bulls, along with 9 hand-picked yearling heifers out of proven sire groups, including Worldwide, Home-Raised, 316 Exclusive, Black Diamond, Versatile, Power Play, and more. With the Christensen buyback program, you can be assured of the support offered to their customers as they continue to bid on calves that are a part of their program. For livestock that will be effective from farm to plate with a focus on the commercial cattleman, attend the DBL and Sonderup Angus Bull and Female Sale. Visit dvauction.com to view videos and catalog or call 308-536-2405. DBL and Sonderup Angus Bull and Female Sale, Thursday, March 16th at the Bull Lodge west of Fullerton.
Well, hey there. This is Pat Margaret's of the Dawson County Farm Bureau. Recent headlines of a man losing his life in the grain bin is a very sad reminder. We all need to be careful around the farm. Now is the time that a lot of grain leaves the bin, so remember, if at all possible, avoid going into a bin. If you do have to enter a bin, make sure to have someone there and use proper safety equipment like a rope and safety harness. Thinking ahead and a little patience can keep everyone safe on the farm. This safety message was brought to you by your local County Farm Bureau.
Good morning. Clay Patton on the Rural Radio Network with a check of your opening commodity trade, where higher is the word in the overnight session, as soybean oil is really the only part of the grains complex that ends in the negative for the overnight trade. Meanwhile, the opening salvo deferred corn contracts of corn are already under pressure, still holding some limited gains in the front month. Soybeans and wheat, they continue their upward trending march. This comes, though, now as India's ag minister is talking about some very hot conditions coming coming at a critical point in their growing season for parts of northern and central India, so that may damage some of their crops and force them to look back out to the global marketplace. We'll see as that story continues to develop. Over on the livestock side of the trade, cattle are turning back around, albeit it looks like cash may just be $1 higher this week to steady at best as we continue to see a little bit more cash picking up before that late Friday afternoon trade. Feeders also trying to regain ground. March corn 640.5 up 2 3/4. May corn 635 up 1 1/4. July corn 624 unchanged. We have March soybeans 1528.5 up 8 3/4. May 1514.5 up 5 1/4. July 1501.5 3.5 higher. We have March Chicago wheat 696 3/4 down 4.5. May 709.5 down 3 1/4. July 716 3/4 down 3. March Kansas City 837 1/4 up 5. May 825 3/4 down 1/4. July KC 817 1/4 unchanged. Meanwhile, April live cattle $1.6422 up 12. June $1.5960 up 15. August $1.5887 up 15. April feeders $1.9420 up 35. May $1.9920 up 37. And August $213.22 up 52. Mainline hogs $93.07 up 20. June $100.47 down 10. July $102.65 down 7.
It's coming. More innovation, more flexibility, and more reasons for weeds to scream in fear. Introducing the latest innovation from Corteva Agriscience, Resicor XL herbicide.